WSU global campus enrollment continues to grow while other campuses see low student intake.
And Idaho has moved the entire state to a crisis standard of care due to COVID-19. Find out what you need to know.
Good afternoon, I'm Dakota Cruz.
And I'm Derek Strom. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Washington State University's global campus professional and graduate programs has seen continued growth, but system-wide enrollment has declined by 4% this fall. WSU's total global undergraduate population increased to 2,500. The global campus is WSU's second largest campus, trailing WSU Pullman, which has 19,114 students, down 4% from fall 2020. WSU Vancouver, Tri-Cities, Spokane, and Everett all saw significant enrollment declines from fall 2020 to fall 2021.
WSU Pullman has updated its burn restrictions. Portable propane fire pits, propane barbecues, pellet grills, and electric and pellet smokers are now allowed over a non-flammable surface at least 5 feet from flammable vegetation. The use of charcoal grills, wood-burning campfires, and bonfires are still prohibited. The restrictions will be in effect until October 31st.
According to Moscow Pullman Daily News, Garfield-Palouse High School is moving to online learning Monday because of a COVID outbreak among students. School officials are closely monitoring the high school, as well as the elementary and middle schools in the area. Palouse Superintendent Mike Jones says more than 40% of students were absent this week due to COVID-19 or other reasons, but positive case numbers have not been released. Classes will be online until October 4th.
Spokane County is facing a school bus driver shortage. The Central Valley School District typically draws about 10 new bus driver candidates, and there's about half of them. This year, they got just one. The COVID-19 pandemic is the main culprit. Some eligible employees elected to take unemployment benefits rather than work. Other employees have quit rather than submit to Governor Inslee's vaccine mandate. The situation in Spokane is not that bad, but local districts will face tough decisions if the driver shortage worsens. Idaho has been hit hard by the massive increase of COVID-19 patients needing hospitalization, moving the entire state into crisis standards of care yesterday. According to KXLY, Idaho Department of Health and Welfare Director Dave Jeppesen said hospitals don't have enough resources to adequately treat patients, whether they're there for COVID-19 or any other kind of illness or accident. Under CSC, people in need of care may not get to a bed in the hospital, possibly receiving help in hallways or classrooms. The unfortunate truth is doctors might not be able to even see a patient fast enough before it's too late.
Gritman Medical Center in Moscow is continuing to operate without moving to crisis standards of care. Gritman spokesman Peter Munt says the hospital is seeing increasing demands because of a rise in COVID patients. Gritman had 11 new COVID hospitalizations in the past week. 81% of coronavirus patients at Gritman this summer have been unvaccinated.
Thursday, the state of Idaho expanded its healthcare rationing system due to the number of unvaccinated COVID-19 patients. The decisions marked an escalation of the pandemic in several western states struggling to convince skeptical people to get vaccinated. The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare made the announcement after the state's largest hospital network asked state health leaders to allow crisis standards of care.
Another COVID-19 death has been reported at Latah County, making it the second COVID-related death this week reported by the county. Since the start of the pandemic, there has been 3,645 confirmed cases, 230 probable cases, and 21 deaths in the county.
Starting next month, Eastern Washington residents will be required to use a 10-digit area code in order to make local calls. This is to prevent callers from accidentally dialing 988, which will be a new emergency number for the National Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Crisis Lifeline. TDS Telecom is currently in the process of getting people and businesses to change their contacts.
Cougar football games are finally back in person, and that means the Cougar marching band and drumline are back too. Derek Strom followed this report.
The Cougar Drumline is back in person for the 2021 season with new equipment and a lot of new faces, including instructor Dr. Chris Wilson. For returners like Chandler Phelps, returning after a year of remote drumline has been challenging.
It's To be honest, it's been really tough. We've been going through a lot of growing pains. There's been some frustrations, but we're all trying our best to work together and get things sorted out. And I would say that we sounded really good at our first game.
But according to Dr. Wilson, what the line lacks in experience, they make up for in enthusiasm.
Absolutely. My guess, if I had to quiz them, I bet you they spent all summer really excited to come back and play in person.
That passion has been much needed, as the drumline has had very little time to prepare for a demanding start to the football season.
In just a few short weeks, the Cougar drumline has gone from in here in the Murrow Music Building to playing with the rest of the Cougar Marching Band out here on Grimes Field to performing 3 separate halftime shows in 3 consecutive weeks here at Martin Stadium.
There are many obstacles when it comes to putting together that many field shows, but for Dr. Wilson, memorizing all the music is the biggest hurdle.
We had to learn 3 tunes for the first show, a new tune for the second show, and then 3 new tunes for the third show, and so that's where the challenge really lies.
Okay. But in snare drummer Logan Gallinger's opinion, the line's work ethic makes them capable of overcoming anything the schedule can throw at them.
There's a lot of music to memorize, obviously, but with a line that works as hard as from what I've seen, a line that works as hard as we do, it hasn't really been that big of an issue for us.
You'll be able to catch the Cougar drumline with the rest of the marching band at every home football game this season. Reporting from Murrow News 8, I'm Derek Strong.
WSU's hoof disease research team has discovered a way that hoof disease is contracted. Research shows that the elk can contract the painful disease by walking on soil contaminated previously by infected hooves. The rapidly spreading disease, also known as TAHD, can often lead to death until the discovery by WSU scientists lacked an understanding of how the disease was spread.
Washington's statewide ban on single-use plastic bags goes into effect on October 1st. The bag ban will prohibit the distribution of plastic carryout bags by restaurants, retail stores, small vendors, and grocery stores. The Department of Ecology said plastic bags can cause the production of harmful chemicals, which could damage our environment and clog sorting machines at recycling centers.
Due to the pandemic, the Pullman Chamber of Commerce will cancel its annual cabaret dinner and auction. Chamber of Commerce's largest annual fundraiser was scheduled to take place on October 30th, but it is being canceled for the 2nd year in a row. Next year's cabaret is scheduled for March 26th.
The city of Moscow will host the 2021 reception for Palouse Plein Air competition. The public is invited to the opening reception and awards ceremony, which will showcase artwork created during the competition. The show will be juried by Jared Shear, a graduate from the Art Institute of Seattle, and is set to take place at the Moscow Contemporary. The showcase will begin at 5 p.m. The annual Palouse Days celebration is this Saturday. The Palouse Chamber of Commerce holds this event for residents to come together and celebrate local culture and the community itself. Local shops will be having sales and 38th Annual Palouse Days car show. And some breaking news this afternoon. They finally caught the moose. Pullman police just released this photo of the female moose that a number of people had seen roaming some Pullman neighborhoods. Police said they captured it and will relocate it safely.
A 2-vehicle collision sends one to the Moscow hospital last night.
And what changes have taken place in Pullman since the start of the pandemic? Find out when we come back.
Forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Spokane County has allocated $22 million in transportation construction project for next year. The county will be working on Bigelow Gulch Forker Connector Project 6, among other projects. The easternmost phase, Bigelow Gulch Road, runs from North Spokane to Spokane Valley. The county made plans in the 1990s to expand the road and turn it into a four-way highway with a divider.
According to Pullman Radio, an asphalt improvement project is beginning today in Moscow. Crew will replace existing asphalt, install a new storm pipe, and replace a curb and gutter section on the roadways of 6th and Logan. During this process, residents should be wary of street and sidewalk closures from 6th to Logan to Polk Street. The roadwork is expected to be completed by October 1st.
The city of Malden, Washington has received a grant by the state to help pay for a new fire station after the previous one was destroyed by last year's firestorm. The Washington State Department of Commerce has distributed a $900,000 grant for the new Malden fire station. The agency also designated a $30,000 grant for outdoor recreation planning. Most of the town was destroyed last year from the firestorm.
Pullman has seen a lot of change since the start of COVID-19. Reporter Henry Lenhart went around to show you what's new.
Person after over a year, and Pullman and the WSU campus have seen some changes since then.
We've kind of learned to not have any expectations, just roll with the punches and be flexible.
Restaurants like Chipotle and Yaya Nikki's have been open for more than 6 months. Businesses like Grocery Outlet and Harbor Freight have also been. Others like Dabco Property and Crybaby Cafe have opened recently, both them setting up shop in Adams Mall. Corey Preston, one of 3 owners of the Crybaby Cafe, had this to say about opening up this semester.
This opened up because of COVID, this opportunity, and we kind of just couldn't say no to it. You know, we always wanted to have a location up here on campus, so we knew it would be difficult with the situation, but figured we'd just keep our head down and go for it.
City of Pullman definitely felt the effects of COVID-19. Local favorites like Stubblefields Bar and Grill that used to be in Adams Mall behind me, and one of the daily grind locations had to close up for good. But on the bright side, students and football are back in Pullman, which means a lot more people are going to be in town to see the changes. But nothing is set in stone. COVID policies are still changing all the time, and businesses and restaurants could still feel those impacts. For places opening up soon like Paulie's Deli and Midway Grocery, and a second Cougar Country in the Cub, they will face the challenges other stores and shops have been dealing with all year long. But so far, the community has adjusted to the new changes in town and has shown the stores their support.
Everybody, you know, the students, and we've had townies coming up and saying hi, and the response so far has been overwhelming and really encouraging.
Reporting in Pullman, I'm Henry Lenhart.
Idaho Governor Brad Little recently signed an order that pledged $10 million to help pay substitute teachers. The money will be allocated towards new substitute teacher recruitment grants that will give bonuses to teachers on top of what they already make. Local school district leaders say that the money may help with substitute teaching, but many substitutes are still staying home to avoid getting sick.
A fugitive lodged in the Flathead County Detention Center in the Jewel Basin area. Brandon Lee Kindred is a 36-year-old out of Smelterville, Idaho, and he's facing 3 felony charges of theft and 1 misdemeanor for partner or family member assault. His bail is posted at about $50,000.
According to the Lewiston Tribune, 1 person was taken to Gritman Medical Center after a 2-vehicle collision Thursday night. The crash happened at the intersection of East East E and North Washington Streets in Moscow. The victim was reported to be bleeding from their leg. However, no additional information has been released. 24 states threaten legal action against President Biden's vaccine mandate.
And the race to save the world's largest tree. Find out where it's happening when we come back.
A woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Restaurants and businesses here in Pullman are in desperate need of some workers since the start of the pandemic. Businesses have to find ways to adapt and stay open. Here's Cameron Baber with the story.
With Washington State University being the largest employer in Whitman County, the city of Pullman could use some help.
Here in downtown Pullman, you may notice a sudden increase of help wanted or now hiring signs in the windows of local shops, restaurants, and stores. Now, is this because of the COVID-19 pandemic, or is it because people just don't want to work?
There are other businesses in town that are getting ready to reduce hours because they just can't find anybody to work.
According to the Employment Security Department for Washington State, Whitman County has seen the unemployment rate decrease around 4.3% over the last year. Clearly, this is due to people coming back to work from being closed for months and stores opening up to full capacity. But with Pullman being the largest city in Whitman County and having the university being a feeding ground of student employees, local businesses still seem to struggle.
If you were to drive around Pullman, you would notice that just about a majority of businesses have help wanted signs in their window.
Al Sorensen, city council member and owner of Pioneer Insurance, says businesses are having trouble finding people to employ simply because students who make up majority of part-time jobs have come accustomed to remote work. This issue is not just in Pullman, but all around the U.S.
Businesses in Pullman that have shut down and are only open now partially during the week.
For Murrow 8 News, I'm Cameron Baber.
24 states have threatened to sue the Biden administration on Thursday over the president's new rule requiring employers with more than 100 employees to mandate vaccinations and frequent testing. A group of Republican state attorneys sent a letter to President Biden vowing to take legal action if he did not reverse course, arguing that the mandate would be illegal and unsuccessful as a public health measure.
According to NBC News, firefighters wrapped the world's largest tree in a fire-resistant blanket to protect it from the California wildfires. The base of the General Sherman tree in Sequoia National Park's giant forest is covered in aluminum wrapping that can handle intense heat for short periods of time. The Colony Fire is one of 2 burning near the giant forest and was expected to reach the sequoias, but fortunately did not grow significantly yesterday, reducing the spread of the flames. Pullman residents can say goodbye to the sunny skies for now and hello to the rain. Let's send it over to Jackson Scarum with our weather report.
Thanks, Dakota. I'm here with your weather for today, and it seems like things are going to be getting a little bit more chilly coming up here. But let's look in today's forecast. We have a high of 74 along with a low of 49. It does look like we have 10-mile-an-hour wind speeds, so just make sure you have a jacket to block out the wind there. It does look like daylight is ending a little sooner, so just make sure that you're keeping track of that. But looking into tomorrow's forecast for game day, it looks like things are going to be a little rainy. Looking into things, make sure you have your rain ponchos and your jackets with you and prepare accordingly, because we have a high of 63 and a low of 42 going in later that night. Looking into our state map today, when that comes up, looking into our state map today, Spokane will be looking at a high of 68 and a low of 52. Looking at the Tri-Cities, we have it's going to be a 77-degree high and a 56 low. And for Yakima, it's going to be a 71 to a 54 low. And looks like Seattle is going to be getting a little more chilly with a little bit of rain included, around a high of 66 to low of 56. And then for Olympia, we are looking at a high of 68, still some showers, and 54 on the low. Going into our 5cast, looking through the week, looks like that Saturday, our game day, is going to be rainy, so again, make sure you bring your jackets for that. Sundays, we're looking into showers, 58 high and a low of 40 degrees. Monday is going to be 61 and a low of 36. And Tuesday is going to be 69 degrees and a low of 42. And for Wednesday, we are looking into 70 degrees to 42 degree low. Looking forward ahead, it looks like Pullman weather is going to be getting colder overall, and who knows, snow might be approaching soon. But back to you guys.
Thank you, Jackson. Did WSU keep their perfect road record alive last night in Denver?
And WSU has another football game this weekend. Will Wixie will tell you what you need to know about the game after the break.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hi, I'm Will Wixie with your weekend sports fix. First up, we got Cougs versus UFC. The Trojans and their new head coach Dante Williams take on the Cougs at Gaysa Field Saturday at 12:30 p.m. The Cougs are coming off a healthy win against Portland State and are hoping to start 2-1 to kick off the season. The game will be aired on Fox, and for all you Cougs heading to the game, make sure to bring a jacket or an umbrella. There will be a light drizzle. Well, the Mariners are back on the road again and in Kansas City for the 3-game series against the Royals. The M's last faced the Royals back in August, where they were only able to get 1 win out of their 4-game series. But the M's are still about 4 games out of the clinching that wild card spot, but it looks like either the Yankees, Boston, or Toronto is going to clinch that spot for them. As the M playoff hopes turn to dreams, here's to an exciting next season. And how about them Hawks, ladies and gentlemen? Well, around 4:25 p.m. this Sunday, you can catch them Hawks against the Tennessee Titans. This will be the Hawks' first game in Lumen Field with fans in attendance in 20 months. This should be a good Week 2 matchup as the Hawks are coming off a win against the Colts last week, and the Titans had a devastating loss against the Cardinals at home. Not only that, but Pete Carroll turned 70 on Wednesday, so I'm sure the Hawks won a dub as a late birthday present for the longtime coach. Cougar Volleyball is competing in the Thunderdome Classic in Santa Barbara right now. They began their match against UC Santa Barbara today at 10 a.m., but beats the Gauchos 2-0. The Cougs play VCU tomorrow at 11 a.m. and UC Santa Barbara again at 7 p.m. After sweeping the competition in the Cougar Challenge last week, hopefully the Cougs will keep it rolling from the Palouse all the way to Santa Barbara. The Cougar women's soccer team took care of business against Denver yesterday, winning the game 2-0. Enzi Broussard and Sydney Pulver both scored in the outing, and Elise Bennett and Mackenzie Frimpong-Ellertson had an assist each. The Cougs have a perfect run on the road so far this season and are hoping that the streak will continue against Northern Colorado this Sunday. Catch that game on ESPN Plus at 10 a.m. Back to you guys.
We'll be right back after the break.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, yes, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks. You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for 1. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Thank you for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/mn8. You can follow us on Facebook. Good night.